They are here. They are alive. They just don't really find us funny.
If you want your family back.
Laugh at our goddamn jokes. Oh, God.
I've been listening to Dungeons and Daddies, which is a Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast.
Fantastic.
And they start every episode with a recap, but everyone is like a character like takes it and like does the recap from like their perspective.
Sure.
But they're like written as like one of them does like a letter from like the war kind of situation, and like every time like
My
it's just up
dearest
to everybody.
Samantha.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. It's fun. Oh, we're recording.
Oh, we are recording, huh?
Yeah.
It's fine. So I just thought some of that was funny.
That's completely fair. Well, now I feel like...
Face is funny.
Ow. My feelings.
we sure got you there, Philip.
I really like, oh no, my feelings. Just
Do you need some ice for that burn?
Come see the violence inherent in the system.
That's it. Cut all of this out. Cut everything. Throw the whole podcast away. We're done.
Throw it in the trash.
We're all canceled.
Trash. Welcome back to the Seventh Star to the Right podcast. This is session episode 37. I always forget which one I say.
Session
Episode 37. Just as a quick disclaimer, there is a thunderstorm going on, so maybe it'll be picked up by the mics. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be perfectly fine. But at the very least, it'll add some ambiance. Maybe.
Every once in a while, we'll open a window and give you the latest updates.
Yeah, last time it was hailing. That was cool.
Yeah. What do you guys remember from last time?
Tree Man.
Tree Man.
Tree Man.
Man
He's up
in
in
a
a
tree.
tree.
Fighter of the ground.
Man in a tree. We're not in the tree. We are around the tree.
Oh, wow.
Therefore, we
Yes.
are inferior because the tree man is up higher, and therefore he is currently winning by bird law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, verticality.
Yeah. The higher up you are, the more superior you are to the other birds.
You can jump. Also, you just can jump down on people. You can't jump up at people nearly as good. This man has
Because of
distinct falling
gravity.
advantage
Gravity.
over us, and I don't care for it.
That's really important in bird court.
Yep.
So
We also fought some plants.
Anyway,
yeah, it's fought a lot of plants.
things that happened last time.
Yeah.
We opened with a combat in a room with a bunch of vats. We killed a bunch of things. There was also this one room down the end of the hallway that Nona spent most of the battle investigating instead of helping with the fighting. There was a single dude in there, and then that dude disappeared. And we don't really know where it ended up. It was one of the plant things. I think you've been calling them sporins.
Mm-hmm. Did I specifically say it was a sporin?
I thought so.
You've been calling them generally
You've been
sporins.
saying
You said
sporin.
it was one of the monster thingies, and it was like limping around.
I said it looked like, I think.
Okay.
Well,
my
our-
bad.
It looked
Make
like,
sure
if
we
I
know
said
that.
something differently, that was my apologies.
Like, it's hard for me to tell then if you say it looks like this thing versus it is this thing.
All right, I'm just gonna...
Yeah.
I think he's...
Okay, fine. It might have been a sporin. Apparently, that's what Nona thought, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, maybe I should have clarified in the moment. It was similar, but not necessarily maybe the same thing.
Maybe a more
Okay.
important sporin.
Maybe...
A new one.
Maybe
he
the
had a
king
fancy
one.
hat.
Some kind of neosporin.
And-
It-
oh,
I hate you
wow,
so
you were building up
much.
to that.
I think it also was limping. Was
Yes.
that correct?
It was like swaying around. And then when we went in there, it wasn't there anymore.
Yep.
And I picked up a little vial of chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah, violet
That
chemical.
you're
we've
gonna
got
do something
That
with.
I'm gonna take it back
We
to the
think
lab.
It's the thing.
We have a lab, right? We do have a
we
lab.
can get
a-
we can get a lab.
We
We
can
have-
make drugs.
We have a chemist friend back
yeah, you
at the
do have a
estate.
friend who is a chemist.
who can make drugs. That's
Yeah.
probably easier than trying to learn to do it ourselves. We're getting into the drug trade. Have we mentioned that?
We were in the
I
drug
mean,
trade a long time
if
ago.
you were in the drug trade, you probably shouldn't jettisoned the drugs from your
We
spaceship.
didn't jettison all of them. I still have 10.
Never said we were good at it.
The drug
We're
trade
just
is
in it.
You win or you accidentally jettison your cargo into space.
We can't all be Walter White.
This shit's hard, man. We didn't know that wasn't a good plan.
Yeah, we have nothing but sympathy for Zip.
Oh yeah, he has to steal his own
His own supply, the things he already has. He goes in and takes it.
Yeah.
Well, there was one other major thing. Alex actually went down
Yes.
for a hot
That's
second.
private.
Missed that. Straight up, Nona missed that. She
Oh
was
yeah,
down the
Nona
hallway.
was focusing on the thing that she could see at the end of the hallway.
Mhm.
Was it Micah that got him stabilized?
Yep.
With like an integrity stem, I want to say.
Something like that.
So yeah.
Oh, and
Mhm.
Micah now knows that Alex has drugs.
Yeah, because I went rifling through your shit.
Looking for the things that she already had on her person.
Yeah,
But wanted to
we
use
weren't clear
yours.
on what worked at the time.
You know what? Alex went down. He has to use his own healing item. Like,
That
Exactly.
feels very correct
Yeah.
for our group. We'll be like, you use your resources
your allotted
first.
health potion.
Quick, he's
Everybody
sleeping. Go
gets
through all
one.
his crap.
Take his drugs.
No.
So-
Yeah, and then we walked into this room and there's a man in the tray. Oh, and Claire has an undamaged suit now. Not that it super matters.
Yes,
but-
I'm curious. Where is everyone's HP at right now? Because
That's a great question.
17 of 23.
Oh, you like? Oh
Also,
yeah.
I think Alex would have
We
was
took
putting
the
on the new
time.
combat suit. So
Yep.
his AC should be
right.
You did do that.
Instead of the right, because
Because-
Micah can cover multiple people with the
Yep.
Yeah.
So I used pressure
Pressure
field,
field.
so everyone's protected, so
Yeah.
they can wear whatever.
So you got like
What's-
AC
what's
16
AC?
now.
Okay.
I think.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm at
Okay,
19
perfect.
out of 22.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
at
think I'm pretty good.
I'm at 19 out of 41.
Nice.
Cool.
So you guys are pretty healthy.
For the most
I
part.
Thanks.
guess. I'm under half, so I'm sweating.
Oh, sorry. Could you say I out of 41? What
Yeah.
was that out of 41?
19.
Oh, 19 out of 41.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You've been taking a beating, huh?
Yeah, I'm
I didn't
good.
even realize that.
I'm good though. I'm
You've
like,
been just taking a ton of chip damage.
yeah,
Roughly, yeah.
I guess over the
Cool.
past like 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, we did
Casual.
definitely chill around for a bit and wait for Alex to be able to heal himself
Mhm.
for free.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys
That's good.
made your way into lab 2. I can't quite remember. I think Nona, maybe you had some like WD-40 and then you guys you pulled on it with I think Micah helping like
Yeah, something like that.
kinetically.
Yeah.
And you were able to wrench this thing open.
Yeah, I had a
um,
toolkit.
I can't quite remember everything that I described in this room, so I'm just going to quickly go through everything again. There's this massive trunk in the middle of the room with these bare branches just reaching out to the walls. At the base of this large tree is what appears to be some kind of makeshift bed, a lot of soft vegetation sort of placed delicately in like a bedding so something could maybe lay its head. Additionally, with like a mess of partially eaten plant matter scattered around it. Throughout this entire room is like this yellow pollen, very similarly to what came out of the greater spawns, the big burly guys that one of them exploded. And I believe we ended when I can't remember who came face to face, but someone came face to face with a feral psychic, which was standing up in the taller branches of the tree, looking down at you guys. I can give a quick description of what this guy looks like. Hunched, gaunt human. His hair is only a handful of long, thin silver strands, so you can clearly see his scalp. He sports a thick, messy beard that has bits of plant matter stuck into it. Protruding out of his back is a bark-like growth. At the end of it is a mess of greenery of what looks like a soft yellow pollen. Periodically, the growth will shiver and shake free some of that pollen, causing it to float around the room. His eyes have a constant soft glow that appears to flow through his very veins that bulge out of his scalp and extremities. And I believe Alex and Micah as well would be familiar that this is a feral psychic, someone who has torched themselves so much that they either die or lose their sanity. And very clearly, this thing is still alive, so it is insane,
I'm
or
assuming it
not
can-
of its own, not of its right mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it can see us.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is
it's
looking
at
at
us.
you guys. So we can get into the this right now. It is kind of squatted on this tree branch right now with its hands on the branch as well, almost like in a leapfrog pose with this bark protrusion up its back, just occasionally wiggling and allowing more and more of this yellow pollen to fill the air. And he's just like eyeing you, tilting his head, trying to figure out what is going on. He hasn't done anything specifically just yet, but it's almost as if like a wild animal it's just frozen and it's taking in this information and it hasn't acted yet.
Right. Alex kind of like, I don't know if Alex has made eye contact with this thing, then he like doesn't break it and just kind of like very slowly raises his hands and tries to get an idea of where everybody else is in the room and where the other exit is.
Okay, yes. So
Right.
you guys came in on one side. You started walking in, and I would say you guys are all in the room itself. On the far end of the room, past this tree trunk, actually directly under where this guy is currently perched on, is another door that has a data storage written on it.
Hey, that's that place where we want to go.
Right.
Nona's going to say, "Hi, I'm Nona." Just straight up.
I'm gonna put my hand over Nona's shoulder, trying not to make like very sudden movements, but just kind of to indicate to her like, and with my other arm, gonna like slowly reach up and wave at it.
Okay, so you guys
Move slowly and non-threateningly,
Yes.
and Nona shouts.
She doesn't shout. She just said her standard greeting.
In a
Trademark,
clear,
if you will. Yeah.
carrying voice.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
And it doesn't do anything just yet, but the glow that's coming from its eyes is a pale white glow, maybe a little bit cool on the cooler side of things. But as time passes and this is happening, it's starting to become like got this yellowish tint in it, and you can also see from the veins that are coming from behind the eyes and protruding from its forehead and all the way down to its arms, this glow that you can see underneath its skin is starting to take on more and more of this yellowish greenish glow, very similar to the pollen that's currently going through the air.
Okay, I'm gonna try and like, this is a dumb idea. I'm gonna try and maintain eye contact with it.
Okay.
And kind of say quietly to the others, like, okay, you try and get over to the other door. Maybe I'm gonna stay here.
Is it wearing is it wearing a lab coat? I'm trying to get an idea of if I can match an email name to like this thing.
It is wearing some tattered pants, and that is it.
Damn
Oh,
it, everyone
thank
wears
God.
pants.
our PG-13 rating.
Theoretically,
maintains.
if this guy is from the incident that took place,
He's not unnamed psychic.
he would have been here alone for almost 50 years,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that he didn't move in after everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he is completely and utterly tense.
Nona's gonna whisper to the others,
Yeah.
"This is not normal. What are we doing?"
Go. This is bad.
Okay.
And
Just get the stuff.
Nona's gonna go walk across the room. I
Quiet.
guess.
You're
Slowly.
gonna walk underneath
I
where
just said go.
No, read the room.
Yes, I'll read the room. Let me get
are you going?
right on that. Well, like obviously, so Micah told me to go somewhere. I've got no idea what we're doing. I'm trying to follow instructions to the best of my ability. Where are we going? What are we doing? I have not figured out any of this yet.
So Micah and Alex and Claire and Dorian Gray are all kind of frozen. And Nona's just like, all right, I guess
Where do we
let's
go?
just, and you just slowly move forward?
I mean, that was the intention. Micah's hand is on my shoulder, so I would anticipate if
Okay.
I'm doing something
Micah, are you
wrong,
going, are
there
you
would
going
be
to
a
grab
like.
that? Are you going to
No.
prevent Nona from moving forward?
If she's just walking straight through the middle of the room, yes.
Okay.
Be like, no, let's slowly move around the perimeter, the outside to data storage.
Yeah, as we're kind of doing that, if we can hug the wall and do it, that'd be great. But Alex wants to make his intention as clear as possible. So like hands up, he very slowly goes forward and points at the door that we're trying to get at. Like, you know, he points like a finger to see if he can get the psychic's like attention on it. And then he points down towards that data storage door.
Okay. So as you're gesturing towards this thing, you know how dogs don't really understand what a point is? Like you point and they just sniff the end of your finger. Like, no, I want you to look at that thing there. And they're like, I don't understand this. You see there's no understanding of what you are trying to convey to this. It for all intents and purposes, a wild animal right now. And it just is continuing to lock eyes with you guys. And as you maybe slowly back away towards the edge of this room and give it as much space as possible and try and work your way towards data storage, Claire will say, okay, this is its bedroom and it doesn't like us in here.
That makes sense.
Very carefully, very slowly, we should try and move around the perimeter. I don't know if that will upset it more, but
It eats the plants. Did anybody pick a flower that we can offer it? Or I think we've been strictly avoiding the plants so far. So,
I didn't touch any of the plants.
Should all of us be?
Micah, can you?
going?
Are there any intact like plants that haven't been eaten around in sight?
No. The biggest plant in this room is the tree itself, but there's no greenery on it. The only plant matter that's really here is at the base of it as that makeshift bed. There isn't a ton of like flowers growing out of the wall where you've seen that somewhere else.
Yeah, I could give it its own food or bedding, but I feel like it probably that already belongs to it.
And this is like off to the perimeter, maybe even inching slightly toward the door. Anybody have a Slim Jim? Just any
Like rations?
like rations, jerky, anything in the pack that we can very slowly get out and distract it with?
I have some rations.
All right, can you
Yeah, and she starts to reach into the
I-
bag, and as you guys are doing this, I assume you're continuing to inch along the wall.
I'm wondering, why are we all going? If we need a thing from data storage, it's go there. We're probably gonna have to come back this way. Is there a reason why all 5 of us are moving as a group here? Is this not more threatening than just sending one person?
Well, my plan was to try and kind of keep its attention by staying in place while maybe others go to data storage.
Okay, so who's getting sent to data storage then?
Alex will start moving that way.
Okay, so Alex is going to data storage. Anyone else joining him?
I guess, sure.
It's a question.
It's up to you.
I'm very confused as to what it is we're trying to do here. So there
You're sending
was the
one.
Kirsten is not
Nona,
confused.
I mean,
Nona is very
if
confused.
Nona is looking around and like doesn't know what's happening, Alex is gonna be like, "You're better off just like hanging out,"
I
and we'll
would
like hold
say
out a
that.
hand.
I could just hear the back and forth, like through the force. Just stop moving.
Should I go? Should I don't? No, you don't have to go.
Exactly.
Roughly, yes.
And so Claire starts pulling out one of these rations, and it's got packaging. So she starts to peel it and like breaks off a piece of it and like goes to eat it. And like, good, and starts
Toss it. Don't stand it.
Okay.
Do it. Like toss it.
and
Toss the bedding.
tosses it like halfway in between because it's up on a branch right now. And she doesn't throw it at it, but kind of throws it onto the bed at the base of the tree. And it watches that as it throws and lands in its bed, and it tilts its head. And Alex, you start to make your way around the edge of the room. I want you to make some kind of roll here. Probably a dex sneak check. to
Like
not
it-
draw its attention.
Like an administer.
Yeah,
Like a
an
talk.
intelligence administer.
Dexterity sneak.
Yep.
Let's find out. 10.
Okay.
Nice.
So as you make your way along the edge of the room, it is continued to focus on the rest of the group and actually starts to move a little bit. And as it moves, you can
Alex
see,
stops when he sees it moving.
Okay, you have a different perspective than everyone else. This branch kind of wraps around the edge of the tree, such that it obscures your vision for a brief moment, as it would maybe start climbing down. So it gets up with its hands no longer on the branch, and you can see that something's happened to one of its legs. Maybe one point it hurt itself. Maybe it's hurt right now, or maybe it hurt itself way long ago and it never healed correctly. But it has this little limp that goes along with its movement. And as it slowly gets obscured by the tree, you wait for a second. You wait for another second, and you don't see it anymore. It never comes around the other side of the tree.
Alex kind of looks back towards everybody like, do I have vision on other people?
From your guys' positions, you can't see where it maybe is hiding. You would have to maybe send someone along the other end of the room.
Okay, so it's like just hiding now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay. Let's
Keep going, Alex.
Yeah. Alex kind of pulls out his gun and has it like off to the side a little bit, but he'll have it readied, and he'll again just kind of shuffle his way. And he's like, "Why did I volunteer to do this?"
So you get closer and closer to this door, and I assume you're continuing like looking back to maybe see like at the very least.
Yeah,
have an
I wanna
understanding of where it is.
try to have vision on everything
And
if I can.
I'm thinking of this like very cinematically, where as you start to walk around the tree trunk and it gets obscured by the tree trunk, and you just keep moving, and it's just not there. And now you have full 360 vision of this tree trunk. It's no longer there. You can't perceive it for one reason or another, but it is no longer on the tree itself. And it appears that the room is now empty. What do you do? Do you continue
Am
moving towards the
I
door?
by the door?
Yes, you're right by the door now.
Okay. I try to open the door.
Okay. It is stuck a little bit. You're going to have to make a little bit of noise in order to try and wrench this thing open. Can you make a strength exert check?
Okay. Once I realize that it's stuck, I'm kind of like, shit. I kind of like look back. I'm going to type out a quick thing on the compad, just like doors stuck, trying to open. And then I send that out, and then I'll try to open it.
All right.
Okay.
Who had their phone on silent and who didn't is the question.
Ooh. Alex is not very strong and does not like to exert himself. That is a 7.
Okay. So you are able to, with a pretty good pull, wrench this thing open. It does make a little bit of a noise. The metal in this door has rusted a little bit, and it's scraping past each other. And you just hear as you open this door, and everyone's blood just sort of cools for a brief moment.
Yeah, Alex immediately like turns around and watches the tree, expecting the psychic to fucking T1000 out of it.
Then it comes from behind you.
And all of a sudden, everyone in front of everyone other than Alex can see this. Bloop, right into existence. You see this psychic peer right in the makeshift bed, and it takes the ration and just starts sniffing it and maybe like nibbling at it a little bit, splitting its focus between the 4 people in front of it right now and the food that it's gotten. And it just like, and then looking up at you guys and going back and forth.
Delicious.
Nona is completely befuddled but absolutely delighted by this turn of events, and she too would like to feed the thing.
All right. After not immediately being attacked, Alex is going to go into the room while this is happening.
All right. So,
As Nona feeds the psychic.
Well, like, I don't
Do it, like, please.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Make
I'm
it-
going to do exactly what Claire did. I'm going to very slowly take off. I don't know why we're going as slow as we are, but I can follow what people are doing, and I am going to do that too.
Yeah.
Again, sort of with the nobody's stopping me, right? Because I've got no idea what is happening here.
And Claire sees you and says, yeah, maybe do it again. He seems to like it. She can read his thoughts.
I will do that. It can have some of my beef jerky that I'm
I assume
around
you're
for
also going to... Where are you throwing this?
exactly the same thing Claire did. It
So
worked.
You're kind of throwing it
At
at
it.
it in this case.
In that case, we'll go a little bit shorter. Then,
All right.
I think.
So a
Like,
little
we
bit
don't
closer.
want
A little bit
it-
closer
I mean,
to
I'm
us.
not tossing it like. I don't want to hit it in the head. I don't want to hit it like.
Do you
I
want to
don't
maybe
wanna
throw
piss it
it
off.
on the other side of the room to maybe you live over there now?
I mean, that would be a great strategy if that was what I knew we were attempting to accomplish.
Okay, but you're just gonna throw
you
it
know
like
what?
at
I'll
its
throw it
feet.
to like the side of it. How about that?
Okay.
Like same distance away from us, but like either to the right or the left, whatever is kind of easier.
Uh-huh.
Because
Trying to
I don't
tire
want
it out.
to wing it in the face with beef jerky. That would
Oh
be
yeah,
not very
that
polite.
would be rude.
That would be
Yeah,
very
and your
rude.
guests within its house.
As far as I can tell, yes.
So Nona, you throw another one of these ration bars off to the side of it, and it tracks it as it goes by. Its eyes are this fully this yellow green color, and you can almost see a very similar light shining from within the cracks of these tree trunks, just slowly brighter and brighter. Originally this room was pretty dark, but now it's got this low light that all seems to be coming from the tree itself, where these yellow lights are peeking out of the cracks in the tree bark.
I'm
You have
gonna,
something?
just kind of whisper to Claire. So, invisibility or something like it, probably telepath, maybe also bioscion, so full psychic.
Yeah, this
What do you think? Yeah.
is definitely a full psychic.
Yeah.
Teleportation, maybe.
Maybe.
Hey Jeff, is this the thing I saw?
Yes.
Because I can't help but notice it too has a limp.
Yeah, and Nona can share this. I think I saw this in cold
Yeah.
storage, and you guys were in the middle of the hallway. So considering it was in
It's a
cold
teleporter.
storage and now in this room, you could theorize that it is a teleporter. So we're going to go to Alex. And Alex, you enter this storage area, and lining the walls, floor to ceiling, are these metal filing cabinets, all neatly labeled. You see spore and cocktail versions, scientific methodology, personnel files, genetic donor registry. In the middle of this room is a table with some papers. And there's documents just sort of splayed out and spread out on this table as if someone was trying to look for some specific information within these documents.
Fuck, this is gonna take a while. And he'll start looking through shit.
Okay. So what exactly are you looking for?
He is looking for things, potentially even like locked cabinets, things that look like heavy duty, like definitely made to survive a long time. Those like probably more classified, slightly harder to find documents.
Okay.
Failing that, personnel stuff, and then genetic donor, quote unquote, or whatever that thing was. That's probably his order of priority.
Okay. Because part of the purpose of going, well, one of the reasons why this was an important place is they kept very good track of the genetic donors, and therefore those are records of people that they have taken. So that is something that you would remember. Like the genetic donor list probably refers to the people that were taken and used as part of this. So can I have you roll an intelligence? I want to say administer.
Wow.
Have we ever had an administer check before?
I maybe once. I think
So
Alex
exciting.
also did a similar one when looking through documents in Kyle Reed's office.
Mm-hmm.
But this is mainly how fast you're able to do this.
In theory, Alex is good at these.
I believe in you. We've been rolling pretty good so far.
He has a
today, I
plus
think.
2. 9.
Okay. So you're able to do this pretty quickly. You start going through things, and on the table itself appears to be just splayed out most of the genetic donor material. In fact, there's one document that piques your interest that talks about a male psychic that was as part of the first shipment of genetic donor material, and you see like where he was taken from the city of Ventios, that's in Ostia. You also see his name, which is Ryan Crawford.
He's just a dude.
He's just a dude.
He's just a guy.
Just
He's just a
Ryan.
guy. Why did I make myself do that?
Just to prove that you had it ready.
Yeah.
Jeff
totally
writes
had
out
that.
Ryan Crawford. Normal ass spelling.
Yep.
As Alex was looking through this, what's the condition of these papers? Do they look like they've been recently gone through? Are there like fresh crinkles, or is everything like kind of settled and like?
There's a layer of dust over everything. These don't appear to have been touched in years. There's no light in this room, so they don't appear to be like faded from any sunlight. So you can make out quite a bit of the information, but there's definitely some like yellowing on the paper. Like these are old documents and not necessarily ones that have been gone through. Perhaps this was the state that this room was left in when the incident, quote unquote, occurred at this research lab.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So you're able to find some of those documents. I assume you like get a stack of them, pile them up all nicely.
Yeah, great. I paperclip them.
Yeah,
I have a little
exactly.
manila folder that I write in Sharpie.
Stuff
Get one of
in
those
the,
binder
like,
clips.
Yeah.
Colored flags on the important bits, you know.
Are you going to spend time trying to look for anything more in here or investigate any more? Or are you just trying to get out at this point?
He kind of like, I mean, if he does a pass through of all of the labels, even if he doesn't like open up the file, what are the other labels?
So you also saw Sporin cocktail versions, scientific methodology, and personnel files.
They make a really good Bloody Mary.
He looks through.
Oh no.
He wants to look through scientific method.
Okay.
Step 1, form a hypothesis.
So
Fuck.
as all of this is
A red
happening,
herring.
Alex is continuing to
For a second, I pop in.
Oh shit.
Alex gets scared, drops the papers.
Fuck.
Alex is paging through, looking at the scientific methodology, and now going back to the room. Is there anything else happening? This psychic is continuing to chomp, and is moved to the second ration that's farther away. It does still have its face towards you, and it's focusing a little bit more now. Maybe it's like more like 70-30 now, focusing on the food and then focusing at you guys, because there's a little bit maybe more difference. Maybe it's like, okay, these guys are
vanilla.
This one's got the cinnamon swirls in it. It's fancy rations.
Are you guys in the room doing anything more? Claire is just focused on this thing, very clearly tapping into something telepathically to try and get any hint that if it does go hostile, to give everyone an opportunity to react.
Okay, we can't see Alex right now, right? Because he's
No,
on the other side of the big
he's in
truck.
the room, and I don't think he's making too much noise, so you don't know
Yeah.
exactly what's going on in there.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just hang tight, then try and make sure it's not spooked. We haven't heard anything more from him, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
no.
I'm like gonna continue with the like feeding it thing if it looks like it's gonna run out of second ration. I don't need these things.
Yeah, so you're just gonna keep throwing
back where the
food.
first
Yeah, yeah.
one was and kind of just alternate. That's my go-to plan. I have no idea what we're doing.
I'll slowly bring up my compad, of course, everything very slowly, and try and type out a message to Alex like, do you need help? Anything good?
Dorian Gray, before you send that, will say, I'm just gonna, it seems like things are all right here. I'm gonna see if he needs any help over there and see if I can grab any stuff with him. Makes
Okay,
sense?
just
Be careful.
be careful.
Yeah,
Don't scare the thing.
I've done stuff like this before.
I've tussled with a couple tree people in my time.
I've tussled with a couple of tree people as I start.
Oh my
drawing
god,
dice
you're
to make
going
a
to
roll.
fail this roll.
No, I'm not.
So hard, Jeff, and you're gonna.
She did fine. She
Okay.
got an 11.
Okay.
So she is able to make the same edge and is able to visit Alex in the room, and she pops in and says,
Fuck.
"Sorry, I was just. Do you
Jesus
need any
Christ.
help grabbing stuff in here?"
Yeah, I'm going through the scientific method. I'm learning a lot. Do you know you're supposed to do science? It helps.
You
Science-
understand you're supposed to have like a hypothesis and then like build a bunch of tests to
Science
try and then
experiment?
prove that hypothesis.
It says here, even if you disprove the hypothesis, that's still science. So like that's cool.
It turns out
But yes, help.
Dr. Lily Isley was more of a mad engineer than a mad scientist.
He just turns out sitting in there watching Magic School Bus kind of thing.
With the frizz? No,
No way.
way.
So yeah, you were going through the scientific methodology, and it explains the applications of hydrodiatrite, how to use it along with genetic donor material, and then how to mix that along with plant matter in order to make these plant-human hybrids. And it talks about a couple of different ways to do that, and it gets very much into pretty dense stuff that you can't quite understand. Dorian Gray helps you page through some of that. It's like, oh, this seems interesting, and starts taking some things out.
Alex makes two folders for that one. One that he marks evidence, and the other one that he marks burn. And he puts the like actual like how to use it stuff in the burn, and the incriminating like we did this on
Okay,
like
yeah,
experiments
yeah.
into evidence.
So, and I assume, are you going to, assuming nothing goes down, are you going to try and go through all of these documents to understand what will build your case more and what should never see the light of day?
He's not doing that right now.
Okay.
But like realizing that this is like a thing that he wants to destroy, he kind of like almost like a footnote. He's like, okay, destroy this later, and then poop poop. Gathers all the papers for, going through at a safer place, probably.
Yeah. So at this point, maybe you're like, oh, there's a lot of good stuff in here. You just start taking a bunch of papers and like, we're going to take this and we're going to sort through this.
Not here.
Here.
Yeah.
And so Dorian Gray will also start going to like the personnel files and like the spore and cocktail versions and putting that stuff in her bag as well. And you guys clear it out. In the room, this light has gotten brighter and brighter. Can I have everyone make a wisdom notice check?
No.
In the room.
Yeah, not Alex.
Wait, that's the wrong thing. I was playing D&D for a second.
It was a simpler time.
8 for me.
8?
Yeah, same 8.
Okay. Claire does not notice anything, but Nona and Micah, as you are just going between just taking everything in, making sure that you are keeping this feral psychic nice and fed and far away from you guys, this light is getting brighter and brighter. And one of the things that you both notice is these cracks in the bark. They're not just random lines. There appear to be outlines of something. Humanoid figures. You see arms and legs and heads. These heads seem to be almost like more oval than a normal human would. And you see like little creases that seem to be where that would split open. Nothing happens just yet.
This is a crazy tree, man.
Yeah, it sure is.
What is it doing that?
God, I really wish I could come up with some way for Nona to just wing one of these ration bars, bounce it off the head of one of the humanoid outlines.
Nothing
I
happens
can't.
yet, but
Okay.
these are
That
That looks like the outline of a sporin.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my compad again and text over weird stuff happening. Come back, please.
Ah, shit. Okay. Do we have everything?
Yeah. I think
Let's
we
go.
got everything.
Out.
All right. And so are you guys moving quick? Or are you trying to stay out of not spooking the feral psychic and moving as fast as possible? Where are you falling on that spectrum?
Faster than getting into data management. But we're not in a full out sprint, so we're probably like going over there, and it's a very hurried kind of like sidle along the wall. Yeah, you ever played a video game where they push up against the ledge and you kind of like that's what Alex is doing.
All right. So you guys and Dorian Gray follows your lead, and you both move along the edge wall. Claire tugs at Micah's shirt and points over to them. It's like, they're here. Maybe we should leave the room now. As the feral psychic seemed to cares a lot more now about the food than the people in the room.
Yeah, let's back away slowly. Don't turn your back to it.
Alex takes out a flash grenade
Okay,
just to have it in his hand. Just to have it in his hand.
Okay. Okay, so you guys make your way towards the door, and you are, let's say about half of you are out of the door when the light from the bark just starts to grow searing, and you just hear behind you thunk, 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 and a couple of these sporins, completely bark-like, almost like harder than anything that you'd seen before, thud onto the ground and just start stirring a little bit. Are you going to continue this slow but stealthy, or
How far across the room are we?
you're probably about 20 meters away from them right now? 20, 30 meters? We have what we came for. Maybe we should just go.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah. He breaks out into a run, I guess. We're abandoned stealth. We go. And Alex gets ready with the flash pad, and again he's like, not shouting because he doesn't want to shout at least, but he's like pointing towards the door now.
Shit. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Can I have a Dex exert check from everyone, please?
Dex exert.
Yes.
Ooh la la.
You are running away.
Yeah.
The exert.
Exert. Dorian Gray's fine. Claire's fine.
5.
Okay.
Dex,
7.
Okay.
exert. Yeah, I got a 5.
Okay. So Nona and Alex, you for whatever reason we're in the back of this, and everyone else is able to go quite quickly. But you hear this yell almost like
Alex
just
drops the flash
a
grenade.
human yelling. And you drop the flash grenade.
I go, Ryan, stop!
And you throw that flash grenade. And
Yeah, do you throw it or do you drop it?
If we're running towards the exit, Alex just like doesn't even
God.
check. He just kind of throws it over his back and goes, Ryan, stop! Ryan!
So you guys basically go the opposite way of how you came in. You enter
Right.
this hallway. You're going past these bodies that were.
I mean,
gnawed on.
if we're gonna pass by this, can we just close the door?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
you guys
close
are
the door.
You're gonna do the horror thing where you go through the door and then slam it behind you. Yeah, absolutely. So you Nona is the back of the party and just slamming the doors as you guys come.
Yeah.
You go through the hallway. You go through the first lab with the vats. You don't take too long to look and see what might be in those vats as you were just booking it. You go past the make it to the hallway with these plant traps, and they do still to appear to be in their like fired state. They aren't
Awesome.
voluptuous and curvy and ready to just
God.
spurt. So you guys run out.
Excuse me?
Stop. Don't ask me that question.
I love my sporins.
Oh.
I didn't know, like, it's not full and ready to fire. Anywho,
It needs a moment.
it needs a moment.
That's perfectly natural.
Give it 30 minutes, you know? It just shot off its load.
All right.
All right.
Now we're being a little blue.
All right. I'm going to stop that. You guys make it out. I'm not going to explain the rest of going out. You make it out of the laboratory, and you see it's probably, you guys got here around midday. You've probably spent a couple of hours in here, so it's mid to late afternoon. So the sun's still quite high in the sky. The wind's just rushing by these trees, which they're just going back and forth, and these rustling of vegetation. And you guys are out of the lab now. What do you do? Do you just immediately hop on that little dinghy and go? Because I'm pretty sure you brought a dinghy to the...
Yeah, because we didn't want to land
beach.
on the edge of the thingy.
All right. Yeah, Alex kind of like slows down and is, oh God. Oh, good thing it's not a teleporter.
It doesn't look like it's following us.
It is, though.
What?
What?
We should go then. Yeah, we should go. We should go all the way out.
I did share this information with you, Micah.
I think I read this in the file for Ryan Crawford.
Ryan Crawford. Teleporter.
What kind of name is Ryan?
It's his own
I don't know.
spin-off series where he's a private eye based out of this destroyed lab. It's really hard to get customers, but once he does, oh boy.
I've never seen Ryan spelled with a Y before.
She walked
That's
into
weird.
my room. She was a plant monster. But always, everyone's plant monsters around here. Anywho, so you guys, I assume you're just trying to get back to the boat and far away from this place as possible.
Yeah, I mean, how
considering the
confident
fact-
are we that we have the stuff we came here for?
I mean,
Dorian Gray has been like, we've got everything in that file storage. Just go.
we got everything we came for, says Dorian Gray. Cool. Yeah. I guess, yeah, we pull away and Alex goes over and kind of puts out the files on whatever small table we have.
Cool. So you guys are now on the boat itself that is in this Crescent Harbor. Micah, you would probably be one of the last ones to board just because you're the most battle ready. And you're like, everyone get to safety. And as you look back, you see the feral psychic just perched on top of like a palm tree, just sitting there, just watching you guys as you get into your boat. And are you leaving right now? Or are you going to, let's just stay here and figure out what we want to do right now? Or are you just like, let's get as far away from this island as possible and then figure out what's going on?
He is a
He's a
teleporter.
teleporter. We don't want him
so
on the
we
boat.
should
All right. Well, there you go.
leave. Yes.
If it's a teleporter, it could get on the boat right now, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're watching
let's
for that.
leave.
Alex pulls out his compad and tries to zoom in and take a picture of the
Okay. Yeah. Is the flash on or off?
Alex is a flash off kind of dude.
All right,
we're
that
also
makes
we're
sense.
outside and it is day-ish, isn't it? Or did
Oh
you
yeah,
say
so you don't need flash.
even if it was on auto, it would
Yeah.
probably not need flash.
Mhm.
You're able to take a picture of him.
It's right next to the my brain.
Yeah.
Don't scroll through those photos.
Here's my Orsimian vacation photos. What is that?
Oh, that's Ryan.
That's Ryan.
That's Ryan.
We met him.
Oh.
That's a palm tree
A
native
smoothie.
to these lands.
What you got there? A smoothie?
So, Nona, Dorian Gray, I assume you're the one driving, and Dorian Gray would be like, we should probably head back to Jade. I'd like
Yeah.
to get there if that's all right before you guys head off
Yeah.
to do whatever you want to do. So you guys start to make your way to Jade, which I think was about like day and a half kind of thing.
Now
Mhm.
that we are no
Mhm.
longer in immediate peril, as far as I can tell, can someone explain to me what just happened? What was that? Why were
So-
we feeding it?
So that was a feral psychic. That do you know what that is?
I don't know
Oh.
if I know what that is. I do know what torching is. So, like,
I think-
possibly.
I think you would be familiar, but you might not be. That you may have not been aware of like what exactly it looked like.
Do most feral
Yeah.
psychics glow like that?
I
Actually,
don't know.
Yes.
They do. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
there's
Yeah.
a
At
ton
least
of,
in my version, they do.
a lot of metadimensional energy that
Hmm.
you know, all of it pretty much. So it suffuses the skin, gives them a glow.
Yeah.
But not like a healthy.
Not
you're
a
glowing.
no.
A little more
like
than
in
that. So yeah, that person's mind wasn't there anymore, in case you couldn't tell. So we were treating them like a wild animal, I guess. I don't know how much experience you have dealing with wild animals. You don't want to make
Not particularly many.
sudden movements because that can spook them. So we were, oh yeah, write that down.
Mhm.
Sudden movements spook wild animals.
Sudden movements, loud noises.
Loud noises. So the food was to distract it and make it trust us a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, all right. So hopefully something in this paper is what we actually need here.
And Alex pulls out like a pair of non-prescription glasses that he puts on when he does file work because it gets him into the right mindset.
At the far end of his nose.
Yeah, and he kind of like, all right, let's see, see what we have here.
So yeah, I would assume the first order of business, as Nona is probably driving back, is sorting through these documents, figuring out what is relevant to build this case and release this sort of dossier, the Orchid dossier,
If you will.
out into the world, and what should never see the light of day again.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the research itself and stuff along those lines. Cool. So I would assume that this takes quite a. I'm just trying to figure out how events
Yeah.
work in my head. So this will probably take quite a long time because there's quite a bit of documentation there, and you're able to actually pore over it now and have a little bit of a better understanding of the inner workings of what was happening at the Orchid. So as you're doing this, you probably have like, I know Alex, you sometimes like to have the radio on,
Yeah.
just to like know where general news is happening, and also just have like a little bit of white noise in the background. And so you are able to make it pretty close to civilization. You're still quite a ways away, but you're able to start picking up some signals from somewhere. And you get to a station which appears to be some kind of news station. And as you guys are sorting through this document, this pierces through the science. Not pierces through, but just overlays over everything.
In other news, we have an urgent update from the Jade General Hospital. General Hunter Kane, a decorated Cassian general and target of a recent assassination attempt by the Children of Silence, has finally woken up. He was greeted by a security detail as well as his wife, Winona Kane, a sitting counselor of Cass, and daughter, Natalia Kane, when he awoke. Sadly, neither of his sons were able to be there. Quentin Kane, a member of the Cassian Engineer Corps, is on an undisclosed mission.
Alex tries to turn off the radio.
While Alexander Kane, do you actually try and do this?
Well, if the name comes up, he turns he changes from the off switch and he turns the volume down.
Okay.
While Alexander Kane has been missing for 3 months after a revolt at his workplace, at his place of work on Gal of the Medanar sector. Despite this, Hunter has been described as in good spirits and expected to make a full recovery. We go live to Winona Kane, who put together a press conference for an important announcement.
Do you turn it back up, or are you just keeping it low, trying to keep everyone away from this information?
No, I mean like if he couldn't beat it to the name, like if they said Alex or
They
whatever,
said Alex.
then he tries to play it off like he was just adjusting the volume.
I see.
Yeah.
So they're like, crap, now I got
Yeah,
turn
he
it
was like,
up.
Hunter Kane, yeah, that was that general who was staying at the hospital that Donahue was telling us maybe we should go to, right?
And
It was that General Hospital?
yeah, the J.
Yeah,
General
that
Hospital.
one.
Oh. Yeah, they said he was in the General Hospital.
And the report continues.
It is with great relief that I announce that my husband, Hunter, has woken up for the first time since the attempt on his life. First, I would like to thank the skilled doctors and surgeons of Jade General, the City of Jade, and the Orsimian government for their support and quick action. If it were not for their decisive action and support, I would very likely have a much different press conference right now. Second, I'd like to thank all of the well wishes from the people of Cass and Orisiame. The last few days have not been easy for my family, and your messages and prayers were a light in the dark. Lastly, I have an important announcement to make. After waking, my husband was able to shed light on some questions regarding the events that took place that night. I cannot comment on the nature of this information as there is an ongoing investigation, but in light of what was learned, Cass cannot in good conscience continue to support the Orsimian Chancellorship. I have discussed the allegations with the Cassian Council, and effective today, Cass will be terminating any aid to Orisiame.
There are audible gasps and questions from the audience, but Winona presses on without addressing them.
With my husband in more stable condition, we will be transporting him back to Cass, where we will start his long road to full recovery. Thank you.
And it goes off into more news announcements from there.
And now the rest of the news.
And now the rest of
weather.
the news.
And now the weather.
Yeah.
Yo, shit. So I was totally bracing myself for them to like throw Vaughn under the bus some more. That's crazy.
Does this mean that the thing we just did doesn't matter, or does it still?
Well, people won't know why Dorian Gray speaks up.
Yeah.
We still need to give that information. I suppose Cass just wanted to get out ahead of it.
Create a little bit more of a public uproar against Orsiame as opposed to just kind of, well, it's a good thing that Cass is out, you know?
For my investigation, Cass has quite a bit of money in Orisiame. I can't imagine this will not affect things negatively.
Yeah.
The government likes stability and all of that.
Yeah, there's no reason not to fan the flames.
Yeah, I mean, it's score for our side, as far as I'm concerned. So, could be worse.
I have no idea how to do this.
I can't, like, I have no reason unless I notice Alex being weird about the radio, but Alex is weird about a lot of things.
Alex turns the radio.
His name
Alex
was on the radio.
Alex
His name
turns.
was on the radio.
Well, the volume went down when the name came up.
I'm gonna.
Just, it would have actually been like right in the middle of the name, probably. It would have like reached
Alexander.
Alex.
I mean, I think we've sort of covered this in that we might know your last name, because how else does Nona know that it was his father in the hospital when I was looking through those records?
I think it was like a compilation. So it was like Alexander Kane was in that compilation. So
Right.
not everyone knows it.
Oh, sure.
Nona knows the last
I
name.
do.
Yeah.
So
But
they're talking
Claire's
about us on the
gonna,
radio
like,
again.
her interest seems to have been piqued. It
Yeah.
says,
Alex turns the radio back up, and he's like going back towards the papers.
So the
Claire looks over at Mike, not knowing what to do.
So the last
I'm-
time they were talking about us on the news, that was pretty bad and we left. Should we be doing that again?
I wouldn't mind it.
Us on the news
Well,
Well,
yeah,
what is-
Alex.
was
Well, not all of us.
can't wait. I'm replaying. You can see gears turning slowly, looking back at Claire. Alexander, like they were just talking with.
It's a common name.
Is that you though?
No.
Is that your dad?
No.
Is-
No,
They mentioned something about a revolt at Gal, weren't you working at a mine company that had a revolt?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of mine companies had a revolt in Gao. Thankfully, workers' rights, solidarity. And Alex like clears his throat and just kind of
is nodding and
keeps going.
100%. Ah, yes, a different one.
And Claire also looks to Dorian Gray. And didn't she say you're the son of a Cassian general? And Dorian Gray just sort of looks.
There's
at
a lot of
everyone,
Cassian
just
generals. Like I'm telling you, Cassian's pretty much a military
I think
state.
there's something I need to check
It's an important,
outside.
like-
and just leaves.
And wait, wasn't that in the
outside, are
prophecy
we not
from?
driving
Wait,
the
let me
boat?
go with
Well, you
you.
guys
I can
were like under the deck, so you could actually
Oh,
hear
okay.
what's going
I-
on.
Literally picturing, I gotta go. And Dorian Gray just walks
Just
off the side of
the boat.
Face plants into
There's
the
a
water.
jetpack. There's a jetpacks away.
Again? Where does she
Wait.
get all of these toys?
I rolled 3 dice on notice checks and dropped the lowest, so I can go with you and help. Alex keeps his head on the papers and like goes through it. Man, crazy things. There was some crazy things going on in the.
This might have been
And,
nice to know, Alex. It could have
What?
been real, like that's like your dad has been there this whole time. You didn't want to like check on him, like
Alex like kind of like leans back and takes off his work glasses, because he doesn't need glasses. Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, my dad. Yeah, sure. So yeah, my dad, my father, is Hunter Kane, and he was in the hospital, and that's fine. People end up in the hospital all the time, and they don't always get visitors, and you know they have family around. So he's fine, and it's good. It's good. He's up and about, and he can go back to the Cassian military machine. I'm sure he's very well missed, and he can handle that. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No, I'm great.
I don't have to be a telepath to know. that
Don't you dare use that line.
Okay. Then she'll just turtle back down.
As- yeah, my mentor, I guess, got framed for murdering you're trying to murder your dad, which come to think of it might have been what that prophecy was talking about from a while ago, maybe.
Maybe I don't remember them.
Yeah, because you weren't actually, you couldn't hear
Well, let
that.
me
I think Nona wrote it down though.
Actually, yes. Yes, Nona has a. I don't know if we want to revisit the two generals prophecy right now, but if we want to, we most definitely can.
I mean, we can certainly do so if people are curious what was all said there.
Suppose we can.
Okay, I got
We're
it.
doing it.
We are doing
You
it.
want to do it? Should I do it?
Go for it.
Okay. Two generals sit opposite each other, neither aware of who the other one is, but linked by destiny by a son and daughter perched atop a bird of flames. The generals will remain strangers as their shared fate entangles, both focused on the wrong conflict. Tragedy strikes, for clarity comes at a cost. Confusion, fear, bloodshed, darkness. Give trust sparingly and hold truth lightly as eyes and minds lie in their presence. There is italicized because it's important.
Right. Yeah, so you got it. Two generals and their children on the ship.
Yeah, a little
With the flames on the side.
a little
that's pretty
generous
much
with the
ours.
interpretations because he's not my dad, but fair enough.
Yeah, well.
He's not my real dad.
I'm sorry, I don't come
No,
up with the
that
words.
was-
no, Claire.
No, Claire.
Claire's
This is
future
not.
telling ability. Okay, some notes, punctuation next time needs a little work.
I'm throwing shade at the metadimensional energy. It's not your fault, sweetie.
Jeff will remember that.
So no, okay, like I get it. You have your private stuff, Alex, and I hope we mostly try to respect that. So like it's fine. But I guess we can at least glean like, oh, these two are obviously pretty focused on the like Orsimian conflict, and there's other stuff going on. But I guess we kind of know that now. So there's other stuff going on.
Yeah, the not bears.
The not bears.
Yeah.
Alex, does that mean the woman in the tunnels that day, was that your sister then?
Yeah, that's Natalia. She was also at the press conference. I'm amazed she didn't take the mic, honestly. But yeah, that was her.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywho.
Claire's
So-
just going back to sorting through the documents.
You want some coffee?
No, I'm doing okay.
we haven't had time to go buy tea yet, you guys. It's a real problem.
So
Hey, Dorian Gray, you got any tea?
you can just hear from outside. No.
Damn.
Can I come back in now? Is the
don't know.
awkwardness
Yeah,
over?
you didn't have to leave. Oh, God.
I don't know how to answer that question. Probably.
So Dorian Gray comes back in and
Hard to
just
say.
also goes back to work with all of this sort of just hanging in the air. Is that all that is going to be happen on the subject? I know Nona doesn't really know what's going on. Claire
we
seems
have
to be
not settled on
reserved
whether
to,
we are leaving or not. That was the question. So do we?
Leaving or going back to Jade or like
No,
off
I
planet?
mean the last time somebody mentioned our names on the news, we left because we didn't like that. Granted, I suppose this was just more of a mention and not a they're here.
I'm
Be on the
here.
lookout.
I'm just me. There's the one. And they have no idea. So that's good. They just know I couldn't be there, which is fine. I don't have to be here. So, I mean, I want to leave. We have this to disseminate. We probably want to touch base with the rest of your people, Micah. And
Yeah.
is Vaughn now like fine? Now that Cass is
No, well, he's
no,
still-
there's still going on with the assassination.
yeah, because the
Sorry.
chancellorship still is accusing him and everything, so that hasn't changed.
and it didn't seem like in the news report that Hunter said anything that it wasn't
Yeah,
Vaughn McRaven who attacked him.
yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all still there. Yeah, so
He wouldn't remember.
giving out these files, yeah, he probably wouldn't remember unless there's more that we don't know there. But he knows enough to want to leave, and he wasn't putting it all on the acolytes, which is surprising and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we probably, I guess we were going to regroup at the Calvin estate, right, with the others when we finished up. I don't know if we knew exactly where they were headed to precisely.
Is this a question to Jeff?
Sort of, yeah, trying to
Yeah.
recall.
So the rest of your group, Micah, went to Ostia, specifically to Principa, to try and gauge where Vaughn is and how feasible it would be to break him out, and when a good time to do that would be.
Mhm.
And
it was just that we'd like previously estimated probably when they were moving him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Davos and Ellie split up. Ellie was sent to infiltrate the Zethra group, and Davos
Was sent to hell where he belongs.
was maybe like I can't remember if he went off and was doing his own thing, perhaps trying to rally other sects and stuff like that to try and like do something or build his own group up again, because Ellie and him were the last ones of his group.
Yeah, and he was really weirded out the last time we talked on the phone.
Yes.
So
When you talked to him about the flesh beast.
yes.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, so probably I guess we can regroup at the Calvin estate, because that's where our ship is and is kind of our de facto home base. Yeah, get in touch with them and kind of see where everything stands.
Okay.
Where are we putting Dorian Gray and these papers?
I would like to go back to Jade, please.
We were heading back to Jade right
Guys,
now,
are
I
we-
think, for now.
Are we sorting these? I would like to see the things that we decide to destroy destroyed, and then are we giving them to you, Dorian?
Well,
or-
I can make copies, and Jordan would be able to send them quite a ways around the entire planet. If you want to also take a copy and disseminate them to like the different groups of the acolytes. I think that would make sense. Make as many copies as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Sorry, but does it make sense to have this idea traceable to a freedom fighter group, shall we say? That this, or do we want to just have it only be Jordan Donahue's contacts? Maybe a more reputable, wherever he can.
Reputable source. I can certainly talk to him and
Make that face too.
I can certainly talk to him and see if he'd be willing to, but he doesn't seem to be happy with the current leadership, so I can't imagine he wouldn't jump at this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to stick his neck out and put his name on it, that's great.
I don't know if he'll do it directly, but I'm assuming he might have a breaking news kind of,
He definitely has contacts within different news agencies to be able to break that story. Absolutely.
Right. And maybe a few copies for the acolytes to, for internal use only.
Yeah, can send him a PDF.
A searchable PDF, please. Let's not be
Yes.
monsters.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that
Let's
sounds
just
like a plan.
overthrow government real quick and then
I don't know how we got here. I mean, I do. I don't need us to lay it out.
the revolution is fought with words and guns. Psychic powers.
Psychic guns, psychic words.
All right, so you guys are continuing to go through this information. Let me see if there's any other information within that stack that you guys took. All of the different sporin cocktail versions. It goes into like how to specifically make them. Like, this is how much, these are the steps, this is the procedure that we use in order to generate
Shake
version
twice,
one.
pour over ice.
Yeah, add a little stalk of celery.
Straight in there.
Yeah. The other ones were the personnel files, and this it has Dr. Chang and Dr. Lily Isley. You see that Dr. Isley actually is a Cassian scientist, originally from Cass, not from Orisiame, whereas Dr. Chang was Orsimian. Other than that, like there's no bombshells. You have people who worked there. You also have dates which new genetic donor material came in. Like, you have basically everything, and they also explicitly say this from this region of or from Orisiame is where this person was taken, and this is their genetic lineage in case anything maybe comes up. And it is quite in depth and detailed, because very clearly it's very finicky, this process, and if you have like the bad proteins that match up poorly with one another can cause bad reactions or failed specimens and stuff like that. So it's very clearly detailed, all of the genetic history of this particular specimen and all of that. And so as you guys are going through all of this, can I have you make a wisdom notice check, please?
Roll 3d6, drop the list.
With the wisdom and the noticing. 7.
10 plus something. Sorry, I have to. 12.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Alex, as everyone's going through and everyone's throwing in a little bit of help, you have like the boat on autopilot. It's just
That's a really bad plan.
Don't worry about it. It works.
Okay. Future boat.
Yeah, future boat. I don't want
Boat.
to. I want everyone to be here, but also things to be moving. So, future boat allows you to do this.
Drive.
So you're all going through this information, and you're putting stuff into this is the Orchid dossier pile, and this is burn and never see again pile. Alex, one of the things that you notice as you're starting to look through things is it seems like Dorian Gray appears to be taking some of these files and occasionally just trying to surreptitiously, sleight of hand, take them and put them in her own back and then moves on to the next thing. And this is very
Alex, when Alex
occasionally-
sees that, he kind of like immediately is like, hey,
Yeah.
no, super spy. I know you come from a long lineage of superheroes, and for every reason we should trust you. But what did you just hide?
and she is taken aback by this because she also rolled.
I
pretty
have
well.
my glasses on.
Alex points at his completely lensless glasses,
Yeah,
just the frames.
Yeah.
No, they're lenses,
Oh, okay, my bad.
but they are not real.
Plastic.
She is tapping the table,
We
trying
are-
to think about the.
We just have to be totally honest. There is no room for internal fighting when you are fomenting a rebellion.
Is there a third pile we should be sorting this into?
There was a reason I was looking into the Zethra group, and I wanted to know more about the applications of hydrodiatrite, not specifically these ones.
Can I see what did you hide? Can you
Yeah.
show me?
So she takes
Dory.
out the files and hands them to you, and you start paging through them, and it's a couple of versions of the Sporin cocktail, ones that have like different, more unique versions of how to use hydrodiatrite to break down the donor material. It seems to be all of them seem to be very relevant to how this element, how this chemical is used in this process to break down things.
The applications of hydrodiatrite.
Yes.
Does it have the rest of the how to make a sporin, or is it?
Yeah. So some of these documents are half complete. There's like step one, or it comes into the middle just specifically when hydrodiatrite is being applied to different things. There are a few that is the entirety of the process. Since hydrodiatrite maybe was used multiple times within the process, but it as you look through it, there is some truth to what she is saying, that it does appear to be very specifically around the hydrodiatrite and not necessarily this specific use case.
But
All right.
also, wasn't hydrodiatrite like the bad part of the process, or am I misremembering?
It was the
something here?
necessary part of the
Mhm.
process. It's like the thing that everything else was built up around,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. What do you need this for?
I have my own purposes for what I need to use hydrodiatrite for.
You're using it.
No, I
Really?
want to use it for reasons
Against the Zethra group?
on myself.
Are you trying to? Are you
Um,
trying to be a mortal super
hold
spy?
on.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
come
one Dorian
on.
Gray to rule them all, one Dorian Gray to bind them. I am vengeance. I am justice.
I am the night.
Do not speak to me the old language.
You're giving
I was there
Batman.
when it was written.
You're giving Batman the Lazarus pit, like.
For reasons I would prefer not to get into right now, would like to use it not on anyone else, but for my own purposes on myself.
Well, I'm pretty sure those were supposed to go into the burn pile, so I think you need to convince us a little bit more than that.
She rolls her eyes that you can't see because it's behind a mask.
Does
You
she
can
do
see,
that?
like with the head tilt?
Head
like,
tilt, yeah.
And so she pulls off the mask, and it is
I have no
a
idea who this person is.
Yes, I have no idea who this person is, and that's exactly what it is. It's just like it's a like an Asian woman. She has like this bronze skin. She has this pulled back black ponytail, and she did like this little eye roll along with that, and thinking about it for a moment, takes out a knife, puts her hand on the table, and quickly just slam cuts her hand clean off.
Why? What?
the fuck?
What? Oh, there's blood.
This does not seem to explain anything. Is this explaining something to
Alex
you?
moves the public pile so it doesn't get any.
I'm gonna
drugs,
like
any blood
summon
on
my
it.
telekinetic armory as a reflex. Like, what the fuck
Yes,
is she doing?
yeah.
She's crazy.
And she holds up her arm at this point with the stump on the end of it. And you can just see slowly but surely the wound closes up. And you see like a tiny little baby hand.
Oh.
And then it starts growing more and more until it is just a fully formed hand again. Meanwhile, the other hand is still on the table.
And this is a bad thing?
I am a different type of bioscion. I would like to be able to use hydroditrite on myself for reasons. I am, yeah.
Do we not want regeneration here? You gotta help me. Kona is so confused.
Please clean up the blood.
Yeah. Oh my god.
There was
think
actually surprisingly little blood.
Oh, it's still too much.
so
There's a whole hand.
the spurt there for a second from the artery. Oh my god. I think Mike is speechless here. I'm gonna
No, I'm
mouth
just gonna help.
silently.
All right.
Like,
Okay.
Nona's gonna help clean this up
okay.
because it's clearly bothering Alex.
Okay. Ugh.
I have my own personal problems that I would like to take care of. I can do this. And I would be my own genetic donor material to break down
Ugh.
this stuff, and I would use it for my own purposes. Nothing nefarious. I'm not trying to become some evil overlord. I have a problem, a sickness that I would like to take care of that I believe this application would help me with.
I mean, Alex
Yeah.
kind of believes her.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Claire's
Right.
just wide-eyed
Damn.
and says, if it means anything, she's telling the truth.
All right. Alex reaches into his med kit and pulls out like a little pencil case, and takes out a Sharpie and hands it to Dorian Gray along with the papers that she took before. He's gonna say, just remove mention of the spawn cocktail, just redact it, strike it from the record, and get rid of these papers when you're done with whatever you're doing. Ugh.
Yeah, sorry about that. It helps to show it off before,
It definitely
Explain
changes the mood.
Yeah, no, it certainly really the shock values helped me out in the past.
In the past,
How many people?
Do you need to take
Anywho.
your mask off to do that? Or was that just
Just so we could see your eyes.
She wanted to make sure she hit the right spot.
Mm.
I wanted to try and like connect with you guys a bit on a personal level before I did this. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure people don't necessarily always take that the best way, right? Okay.
The chopping off of the hand.
Oh yes.
I thought it was neat.
Well, there you go. Anywho, I'll redact the information about the sporin, and I will only go after the hydroditrite applications.
I just want to make sure, somebody doesn't randomly take it.
I will do it in front of you if that is what makes you.
Oh, the redacting of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was implied that you were just going to do it right here.
I'm going to do it right now. Then.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
starts going
I
at
trust
it.
you, but
Yeah.
But not really.
there's only so much a paranoid German man can take.
As the awkward exchanges happen and we're de-escalating a little bit, I will let my armor dissolve and just kind of sit back down.
I don't know where one puts a hand. I mean, I've been cleaning this up.
She will
Oh,
she will
yeah.
handle the
Oh,
clean,
God.
She'll handle it.
and she just throws it into the water.
Ugh. How many of those are there in the?
It's
Never-
biodegradable.
Okay.
Some poor police officer's gonna be so confused.
Why are there just a pile of hands in the sea?
They're just called the Great Hand Sea. No, as such, because
All right.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
So Alex has the public pile and the burn thing. He will put anything that like describes the process specifically of the sporn thing in the burn pile. In the public thing, he has the information of the victims that'll be made public, and he has next to that a couple of the personal or the information on the personnel. Specifically the ones from Orsimian. Still in front of him, undecided, are the ones that have traces to Cass. And Alex kind of like puts his hand on that pile and says, all right, Cass is backed off. Cass has renounced the Chancellorship. And here we have negative sentiment towards Cass that we can release out to Orsimian. Right now, I want to hear everybody's thoughts on it, because I'm not sure if we want to make this link to Cass public or not. I'm leaning for including this in the dossier, specifically so that Cass can't have the righteous card. You know, if this causes a revolt, if this causes negative sentiment towards Orsimian government, I don't want Cass to come in and say, ha, we knew it all along. This is why we renounced them, and then just they take over. So I want to include it, but I'm just...
Yeah, it puts them in kind of a bind. I don't think that's a bad thing. Because, yeah, like you're saying, otherwise they get to say like, oh, yeah, take the high ground or whatever. But they were in this too. And maybe, your dad knows about that some, or maybe not. We don't really know. But anyway, yeah, I think we should release it.
All right. Nona, Claire?
Nona has opinions.
Nona has so many strong Nona does not care. Cool. Nona in all things leans towards truth telling, I guess. But like, I don't think she even comprehends why you wouldn't necessarily include this and the political things involved there, because nobody has taken her through and explained it like she was 5. Because she is. So she's like, yeah, I'm on board with whatever the group says. Let's do it.
I think anyone involved in all of this should be held accountable, no matter if they were Simeon or Cassian.
All right. Okay. And he puts it over on the public pile.
Yeah, let's defile where it will. Let us tell the truth.
All right. So you guys have you make your entire way through the entirety of these documents. You've put together a list of these documents that are completely and utterly unredacted, or not redacted, I guess. And a pile that is burn on reading, and is going to be destroyed right here and now. And then a third pile that is specifically certain use cases of hydroditrite that would normally go into the burn pile, but have been redacted only to have the references to the hydroditrite and its use and application.
And that's going to Dorian Gray.
Yep.
For her use only.
I think we've done it. So who wants to do the honors of lighting up the pile that should never see the light of day? Nona, I see you raise your hand quite quickly.
Alex turns towards Micah and is like, no, yes, we can all help. You're lighting the first?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a cigarette? You want a cigarette that you can like smash on it?
I don't really smoke.
I have a cigarette.
Do you have a lighter?
Yeah. Dorian Gray pulls out both a pack of cigarettes and a lighter. Oh, and I guess Nona also has a lighter.
Nona has a lighter. Guys.
Just a lighter, though.
Just a lighter. Nona doesn't smoke for multiple reasons.
So yeah, I guess you guys just start taking turns lighting up a page and like throwing it into like one of the waste bins.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should potentially do this like above deck.
Yeah, it's
because of the fire.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm guessing then, since we're done sorting through things, so I'm very confused about family right
now. Is that so, Nona?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was my original understanding that family was sort of one of those groups that you kind of just liked everybody with. As we know, I've recently discovered that I have a sister and I am rather fond of her, and like that all makes sense. But on our trip here, we've encountered several counterexamples of people having family and maybe not liking them as much. And so it seems to be more complicated than I originally understood it to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have an eye on Alex briefly, and if he doesn't speak up, which I don't know why he would,
Alex isn't even like acknowledging that Nona has asked about family.
Yeah, I say, look, Nona, yeah, this might be a useful point to clarify. Human relationships tend to be messy. They're not all the same way. So some people are happy with their families and some people don't like them. And for some people like me, it's a little more complicated, and we don't have to get into that right now, but
I like them, but I hate them.
yeah, so I guess don't take it too much. Oh, like one way or the other, this is how all families are. They're different. Everyone's different.
So then what is the usefulness in clarifying that somebody is indeed a family member? Is that useful for sorting purposes, or?
It's useful for sorting. Usually it means that you're tied to those people in a deeper way because you grow up with them and your parents raised you, but that doesn't always end with good feelings. I guess. Does that make sense?
Yes. My parents did not raise me.
That's fair. It's not everyone's parents do raise them, I guess. Sometimes they make you and then leave you sleeping on a satellite or something.
As you guys are just loading up pages and throwing it into a dustbin, Dorian Gray's also just in earshot, holding on the side of the boat, smoking, as she does with her mask off. Because
what's the point now? Anymore? I wonder if she can grow new lungs.
You gonna ask her?
That would be useful.
Actually,
I mean, I don't know. Like, probably not. That would probably ruin the mood of this moment.
Anything else that you guys want to do in transit before you get to Jade?
Nah, I'm good.
So you guys, it is probably middle of the night now because you guys did this midday and you left, and it's like a half day to a day. Yeah, it was quite full. And you see the glinting spires of Jade, but we will visit there next time.
Oh, back to Jade.
We made it.
Pointy City.
Time to topple government.
This is what I've been waiting for.
You know, you Scooby-Doo your way out of the tree man's lair, and then you topple the government.
If you guys fought him, he was going to do some real cool, nasty shit.
Gross.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Does it have to do with voluptuous flowers?
No.
Let's never discuss that again.
Just feral psychics don't have to exert.
Yeah, they can just do it. They can just do it whatever.